Hey guys, what's up? Couple things we're up to is we picked up our tube steel for our weather vane. We made the base plate with a hole that accepts the PVC Schedule 40 3-inch, and we started on these window frames. I took a little picture. You could see what we had for a stack, but these frames come off a job where they were doing a demo job when they had to they took a building down and demolishing it, so they were going to just, I don't know what they were going to do with these. Back then, they probably just threw them in a dumpster, honestly. So we went to the job, a few of us, and one day we got all these frames, cut all the screws out and saved all the frames, saved all the glass. And we had got some glass off another job that they were just going to tear the building down and definitely just smash whatever was there. But we had grabbed it. This stuff's been stored here now in this yard for more than 12 years. So I had stored it under this deck to keep it out of the weather. So, but I can show you the glass. This is the glass we had got off a job years ago. And this is all the two-pane insulated, I don't know, I think it's 3/16 the glass thickness on those, but they're narrow lengths and they're long narrow lengths, so that's actually what determined the those trenches that you see in the front yard that we repurposed the glass. We're repurposing the frame. So one thing with this repurposing stuff is it takes a lot of work, honestly. We got these old frames that were all connected really good. Rusted screws we had to drill out and grind out. All the old caulking and stuff is on these window frames, but put that up against trying to buy one of these things in long lengths. It's a small fortune, honestly, and these are really nice frames. That's an anodized aluminum. It's set up with acceptance tracks for assembly. These little tracks here is where the screws go into, and this thing in the middle here you see is a plastic material. It's called a thermal brake. And what that does is it stops the outside of the window and the inside of the window from thermally bridging across the frame pieces. So that stops the windows from frosting, that little detail. And then you notice this trench width, well, that's set up to accept 1-inch glass. Now we have 5/8. So what we've been doing is getting hold of some of these gasket rubber manufacturers to make us up a profile that we can make a transition to a narrower piece where we got a 3/8 difference in the width, so we got to make up the difference on each piece. That makes the seal for the glass on each side. It just presses in there. Honestly, it's just pretty simple. It presses in there, and that seals on the inside of the glass, seals on the outside of the glass. Anyways, it's a lot of work prepping these things. It's going to be a little bit of work putting them together, the frames, but at the end of the day, it would be a small fortune to use storefront glazing systems like this for anything, honestly. Commercially, it's very expensive when somebody goes to have some of this work done. It's not cheap. And it's got a snap channel on the sill detail, and it's set up so any water that gets trapped inside the frames comes and drains out these little weep spots at the bottom. Runs right out the sills. So it's an important detail where the sills meet the rails going up. Everything's got to be sealed. But anyways, the weather's crummy and it's cold, so that type of work you got to have a nice little area to work in. So that's what we did today. So this is what I'm sharing today. We We need heat, you know, when we're using the caulking. So we topped ourselves in an area on this floor, and this is that in-law, so we're not going to be doing this in-law work for quite a while. So right now we made ourselves a little workshop. We took the time to make a little workshop. So we had taken all the frames apart and we had pressure washed them down really good, but it still has a remnants of all the old caulking and stuff, so we got to get that stuff clean. Excuse me, I just got to shut the door. Just keeps the wind out because it's windy up here. So we got some decent lighting. We got a decent work table because we got to still work the glass, clean the glass. We got to cut the glass. And right now we're just trying to get these windows cleaned up. You can see there's a lot of things we got to do to get it clean. We got to fill these, we got to bondo these. We're going to be painting these. You can see the shims that they had attached. Actually, we got to add to these, but we're going to leave those because that's where they connect to the wood. Anyways, this is what we're working on. We got ourselves a little shop space that we can now start getting these frames assembled and put together to where they're going. And then once we get all these frames cleaned up and nice, because the frames go all around these windows and a couple other windows, but there's enough work that we had to do. It's cold now and the weather's not so good out there, so we made ourselves a little shop. And we come along and we spray foam the cavities. All this voided space gets all foamed. We fill it in with a Hilti closed cell foam. So, we got heat. A little bit of heat. We got some entertainment back there. And that's that. Anyways, guys, that's just the start of getting these frames cleaned up, and then we're going to start getting them assembled to where they have to go as far as in the windows openings, and then we'll go from there. We got to work our glass, and then we got to get our gasketing in. Anyways, just sharing what we're up to. We'll keep you posted on as we make progress. You can see how these things are going together for us. Anyways, have a good weekend, guys, and catch you on the next one.